The webinar is live. I'm giving back the hosting rights.
Great.
Done. Thanks.
Thank you, Ritesh. Aditya, I'm starting the webinar.
Yes, Abhishek. Well,
Yes, please share the links.
yeah, surely I will do.
The webinar is live now.
Let the participant join and we'll start. Right now, we are only having one participant. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Salesforce NASCOM Salesforce Career Recharge Program. Today is our seventh day for the ongoing sessions for the Salesforce Developer Catalyst. And I hope all of you are enjoying, just like I am doing with all of you, the sessions. And right now we are having nearly 21 participants. So let's just wait for some time first. Let everyone join. Just giving them 2 more minutes, nothing more than that, because we are anyway having a lot of things to do. So we cannot spare much more time. So just 2 minutes more. Let everyone join and then we'll start. Okay. So let's just wait for everyone to join. In the meantime, if you guys are having any particular doubts or anything, any query you want to ask, please feel free to put that in the chat box. I'm here to answer all of them. Good evening, Ritika, Kamran, Mani Ratna. Good evening to all of you. Hello, Mrunal. Okay, everyone. So let's get started. We cannot wait anymore. So whatever. So till now, we have done a lot of modules ranging from the Salesforce platform basics to Lightning App Builder. Then we have done some projects related to the travel approval app and the recruiting app, where you explored a lot of things like the process builder, flow builder. You also explored some data, additional data types like formulas, validation rules, then your pick list administration, and a lot more we have done till this particular point. Okay. Now, today we'll be diving into more of the data security aspect. Like, as on the first day, we discussed that the Salesforce is basically a kind of a data center or a data hub, you can say, at its core. Okay. Basically, we are having a lot of databases on the Salesforce platform, which we use according to our purposes, whatever need we have to take out certain analytics or customer operations or whatsoever we want to have. Okay, that's the core. And whenever we are talking about the data requires security because obviously it's some there the data could be very much sensitive, like there could be PII. If anyone can anyone just give me the full form of PII? Anyone knows about what's PII? Just keep your answer in the chat box. Okay. What's PII, everyone? What's PII? Okay. So whenever we are talking about data, we are having several confidential information that could be your birth date, Aadhaar, bank account details, passwords, or a lot of things. And obviously, we need to keep them secure. And that's what we are going to discuss in our today's class. That's data security. That how can we reinforce various security measures on the Salesforce platform to save our data and keep our data much more secure, uh, to let not get affected by any theft or like any privacy intrusion or any denial of service attacks or any such things. Okay. And so let's get started with that. So the modules for the day are data security and data management. These two modules are we are going to cover today. Rest for the assignment part, we'll be having the event monitoring and the build a discount approval process app. Okay. So let's start with the data management module first because it's quite a small module. So let's get started. Okay, everyone, please confirm that you can see my screen or not, whether it's visible to you or not. Please confirm in the chat box. Ajay, Shantan, Kamran, great. You did give the right answer. Personally identifiable information, basically some very confidential information which relates to personal identity. That's what personal identifiable information or PII is, like your date of birth, Aadhaar card number, biometrics, and all the things. Okay, great, great. Because in the previous class, you guys cannot were not able to see my screen when I have said like just one single window of mine instead of the whole screen. That's why I just sort of confirming it first. Okay. So in the data management part, we are having two things that show importing data and exporting data. So that's the very basic things, like whenever we are creating a lot of data or databases whatsoever, sometimes we need to have the data in a physical manner, like, like hard copies, printouts in PDFs, Excel format or whatsoever to present to, like to prepare a file, hard copy again for our external purposes or whatsoever. In that part, we might need to export the data, or let's just suppose another condition. We are new to Salesforce. We have just transitioned from whatever on-premises infrastructure or databases things we have, and we are transitioning to the Salesforce environment. And obviously, if we have been working for a long time, we'll be having a lot of data in our organization, which we kind of need to import to the like the Salesforce platform. And how can we do that? That's what we are going to discuss in this particular module. So let's get it started. So importing data. Importing data usage, I told you there are two options available for importing the data. The first one is your data import wizard, and the second one is your data loader. Both does the same things. Just a major difference between them are that with the data import wizard, you can import at up to 50,000 records at a time. That's the limit. But if you want to like import much more a larger amount of data, than 50,000 records, then you should move to the data loader thing. What's a data loader is? So data loader is basically a completely separate application, again provided by Salesforce itself, import the data in larger quantities. So that's what data loader is. Whereas data import wizard is just a interface provided in your org itself, that you can just like go from the step-by-step process that we have done earlier while creating objects, fields, and all, and our data can be imported at that particular point. Okay, so that's the basic thing. Now, use data import wizard. As I said, when you need to import less than 550,000 records, when the objects you need to import are supported by the user, and you don't need the import process to be automated. That means that you need to do everything in a manual manner, like whenever you want to import, you can do. But with data loader, it can be downloaded from App Exchange, first of all. That's the Trailhead Salesforce marketplace that we discussed on the very first day. Now, with data loader, the kind of support for the different files, that's a little bit extended. And also you can automate the process with data loader, where you can just keep the data, schedule the things like do it from the night 2 to 5 or something like that, or on a certain specific day. That all things you can do. Okay. Also, you can see in the note, it says that data loader uses the SOAP API to process records. Okay, on this note, I'd like to ask you all, what do you know about API? Anyone? Any idea about API? Please put it in the chat box. Whatever you know about API. Okay, full form. Okay, application programming interface, correct. What does it do? Used for integrating, correct, Shubham? Anyone else? What's API? What's it used for? integrates backend code with the front-end modules. Okay. For communication, correct, absolutely correct. Integrating with other apps or services, correct. Nice. Keep the answers coming in. I like when you guys respond. By the way, I am having 29 participants. I am getting responses from like 6 of you. What about others? I believe there will be participant named Marmik, Fatima, Ajay, and a lot more. Okay, communication of data. It fetch data from server. Okay, so whatever you said is correct. API, full form is application programming interface, which is basically kind of, you can see, a program which is specifically built for to ease the communication between two services, two programs, or two softwares, whatever you want to say. Okay, so for the communication part, to not let's say to for a secure communication, we use the API interfaces. Although we'll be discussing this in much more detail in our next class, where we'll be diving more into the APIs part, because the Salesforce infrastructure comprises entirely, you can say, on the API infrastructure. Without API, the Salesforce platform can be a little laggy and all the things. So we'll discuss that in the next class in much more detail. That's all for now. Okay. So now, moving to the next part is to prepare for the data import. Now, let me know, is there anyone here in the participants who have been a data analyst or have any idea about what a data analyst do and its functions and all? Anyone? ETL, okay. Okay, Marmik came now. Okay, fine. Clean and analyze data. Data modeling, correct. Absolutely correct. Extract, transform, load, Marmik. Anyone else? What does a data analyst do? Summarize data, okay. And data mining, okay. Data analyst doesn't do data mining in general, but yeah, that's fine for now. Extraction of information, okay. Okay, great. Keep the answers coming in. I like it. Okay. So moving on. So as you guys said, so the job of a data analyst includes to like have the data from the data from the various data sources. It could be the offline databases or some online databases like Aurora, RDS, or something like that, or CRM tools like say Salesforce, ServiceNow, Zoho. There are a lot of CRM tools as well. Okay, and after taking the data, they clean the data very first. What do we mean by cleaning? Is that we make the data in a much more of a usable format. For example, let's just take a very basic example. In certain cases, for a field like name, okay, in certain databases, there could be that the administrator or whoever have built the database would have named that particular column as name only, NAME, that's it. But some other person could have named that particular field as first name and last name. And again, the namings for that column could be different. Someone could have named it like first name, someone could have named it as F name or L name or whatsoever. Okay, so there could be a lot of irregularities. Also, there could be some various duplicate values. Several values could be have been repeated throughout the records, or there could be null values that there would be no record present in a particular column. Okay, so there could be several disparities in the data fetched from like direct from the databases and all. Okay, and what does the data analyst do? Very first, it fetches the data, then it cleans the data, like he or she, whatever it is, removes the null values, clear the redundancy, duplication, and all, rename the columns according to the requirements, delete the non-required columns which are not required for the next task. And then after cleaning, they analyze the data by creating much more of visualize the data by creating the graphs, pie charts, or whatever visuals the company asks for or the requirements ask for. And then on those basis of those visuals, they take out some reports, like analyze those visuals, and they take out some reports like the prediction, the company's yearly growth could be like 20% per year of year or whatsoever. Okay, so that's what a data analyst do. Okay, in very general way. Okay, so the same thing, not the complete thing, but to a certain extent, we also need to prepare for our data before importing our data onto the Salesforce platform. Okay. Again, what do you mean by data preparing the data for data import? That you need to clear the data according to our requirements. Okay. Like if there is some like on the data import wizard, we can have CSV files. Okay. And if you like, we have, let's suppose that we have a data in a PDF format. That PDF format we cannot use in the data import wizard. So first of all, we need to change the format from PDF to Excel. We can use online file converters for that, let's say. Okay. Then let's suppose on our in our database, the field has been named as fname. Okay. But in our Salesforce platform, for the object that we have created, the field on that object is named as first name. Now, if you try to import, that could create a problem. So to remove that, what you can do, we can just rename the column in our importing in the data set that we are going to import as from fname to first name. Okay. And again, removing the duplicate values and all. Okay. So that's all things you can do. Okay. You can refer to this particular module as well if you want. Also, there is a playlist that you can go through what the data importing is and how to clean the data, basically how to prepare the data. That everything is available here. Okay. If you are having any questions, please keep your question, put down your questions in the chat box. I will be just taking a bit and I will be answering that along with the explanation as well. No need to wait for the end. You can just keep putting your question in the chat box if you have any particular questions from this particular point. Okay. Okay. So that's how we do it. So preparing the data. After preparing the data, we will be ready to import the data. So let's do it. Let's launch our playground. And let's start importing the data. Okay, let's see how we will be doing it. So first of all, it says that download this CSV file. So let's download this CSV file. Let's download it on my desktop itself. Context to import. If you guys have this file downloaded, okay, let me just share this screen as well so that you can see that. Let's check it. I hope you can see the Excel file as well on your screens. You can see the data set that we are going to import is having 6 columns, sorry. First name, last name, cell, that's your mobile number, email, salutation, and title. And we are having some records over here in that we are not having any repetition, I believe, as much as you can see. Okay. The cell numbers are repeated, by the way, not repeated, they are different. Okay, so we don't have any particular repetition. Expect of the title field. In title field, we are having some repetition, but that's fine. That we don't need to worry about that thing as of now. Okay, so just to have a look. Okay, so now we have started our playground. So let's go to the setup as we go always. Just click on the gear icon, click on the setup, select the setup, click on the setup link and take the setup page. Now let's search data import wizard in the quick find box on the left pane. Yeah, just select data import wizard, search and select. Okay. As soon as you click on that, a new page will open up, which will say data import wizard. You can see at the very top it says recent import wizards. Sorry, recent import jobs. If you would have done some import earlier, it would have been shown that. Okay, but we have not done. We'll be doing it for now. So let's click on the launch wizard button and launch our data import wizard. Data import wizard now. Okay. So now the very first thing it's asking, just look at the flow. That's it. Okay, everyone. what kind of data are you importing? So basically it's asking that whatever data we are going to import, on which particular objects do we need to store this data? Like it could be some standard objects or some custom object that we might have created. Like we had created brokers, favorites, offers, properties, samples, and all in the previous classes. So whatever data we have, whatever object we need to import the data upon, we need to select that particular object here. So as per the lab instructions right now, it says accounts and contacts. So let's select accounts and contacts. Okay. Now, what do you want to do with the data import? Do you want to add new records or you want to update the existing ones? Okay. Or you can add new and update as well. So we'll be just selecting the add new records. Okay. Now you can see the file format that it supports. So it's you can see it's CSV only, CSV, Outlook CSV, ACTI CSV, and whatsoever. Okay. So just let's just select our file. It says drag CSV file here to upload. So let me just take that file from my desktop and upload it here. Just give me a minute so that I can just have it. Okay. Oh, just a minute. Just a minute. It's got dragged on some other places. Sorry. Okay. So here I have the CSV file. Let's drag and drop it here. Okay. Then you can see some character codes that we have. Like it might be that the file that you're trying to upload might have been encoded into according to some particular character codes. Then we can select that here. Although we don't need to do any change right now. Value separated by comma, tab, whatever you want. Okay. So the file is here. Let's click on next. Now here you can see that the next part is to do the mapping. Now, what do we mean by mapping? Is basically we need to relate which field will be related to which particular column in our Salesforce platform. Okay, so you can see 3 fields have been auto mapped: email with email, salutation with salutation, title with title. But these three fields, F name, last name, and cell, has not been mapped automatically. Why it has not been mapped? Because in our Salesforce platform, we had different names for these particular columns. And that's what I meant by preparing the data. We have not prepared the data here in this particular phase because I wanted to explain it to you in this manner. Okay. Otherwise, what we could have done that in this file itself, we could have modified the name here like first name and all. Okay. We have not done here right now. That's fine. Okay. Whatsoever. So now let's map it. So select map button here. Like for the first name, let's select map button. Now it says map to Salesforce field or account node, contact node, whatever we have want. Let's right now we'll be mapping it to the Salesforce field. So let's select Salesforce field. Then let's search the field. It says contact first name, basically contact object value first name. Okay, not value, field first name. So contact first name, done. Click on the map button. Now it's got mapped. Similarly, map the other 2 fields. Last name, contact last name, map. Third one, cell is basically your mobile number. So let's search mobile. So it says contact mobile. Click on it. Now all the fields have been mapped. That means that we are ready to go. Also, you can see the examples on the right hand side at which fields we are mapping and what will be the data that will be saving in our records. Okay, so that's fine. Next. Now it says review and start import. So just have a look at what things we need, have selected and what are the configuration. So we have selected accounts and contacts, add new records, correct? Mapped fields, 6 fields. So we had 6 columns and all those 6 fields have been mapped. So all those things are there. Now we have nothing in the unmapped field. That's fine. Let's click on start import. And it says, congratulations, your import has started. Click OK to view your import status on the bulk data load job page. Let's click on it and let's see whether our import has finished or not, or it has in failure or something like whatsoever. Okay, so here you can see it says view request batches that we have just started. API active processing time, how much time it took? It took 154 milliseconds. Total processing time 329 milliseconds. Records processed 20. So you can see we had 20 records here in this particular column, particular CSV file. So plot records process 20. That means we have none records have failed. And see records failed 0. Retry count 0. That means everything has been done properly. Status completed. Okay. So that's how we can do the importing of our data. Okay. So yeah, that's all about importing data through data import wizard. Now for the data loader app, we need to go to the app exchange and install the app. Then the rest of things we can do that we are not going to do here right now. Okay. So any questions till this part, anyone? Let me know. Any questions, any problem there, anything that you did not understand in this particular part, importing the data? Just give me a yes or no so that I can decide should I move forward or wait. Which part, Deepti? The whole part or just any specific part? Have you joined just now, Deepti? How to map? Okay, okay, fine. So let me just do the thing again. Nothing to worry on that part. Okay. So I'm going back to the data import wizard. Okay, let me just zoom in my screen a bit. I think it's a little small to be visible on the sharing pages. Okay. Okay, so I'm doing it once again. I will be a little bit quick, so please put your 100% focus on the screen only. Okay, Deepti and Amita. So here we can here we are in the data import wizard. So let's launch the wizard first. Click on the launch wizard button. Now the very first part, it's asking that which objects do we need to import the data upon. Like we want to import the data on the leads object, solution object, accounts and contact, or whatsoever that we need to select first thing. So I have selected accounts and contacts. Now it says, what do you want to do? Add new records or update existing records or whatsoever. So let's for this time, let's do one thing. Let's modify some records a bit, like I'm just providing some random names, a random mobile number here. Let's change one name also. Let's say Aman Dodge or Singh. Let's whatsoever. So I've just modified the two field just to show you something else. Okay. So I'm saying update existing records. Okay. Right now I'm change the things a bit. Now it's a drag CSV file here to upload. So let's drag and drop that. Okay, now that we are doing it this way, we need to drag and drop the file from the desktop window so that the updated file could be there. Just a minute. So let's select the file. Okay, file has been selected. Next. Now here the part is the part that Amita has asked how to map. So there is nothing in mapping. Here you can see there is a map button. Okay, so we can just click on the map button here. Then it will ask you that which field do you need to map. Okay, like do you want to map a particular Salesforce field or some other things that you can also do. Okay, so it will be asking you that. So right now it's Salesforce field. Now, right, I have selected for the first name. So let's just type first name because I know that there is a field called first name in my on my contact. If I would have not known that, I would have first checked it from the object manager and all. But as I know, if there is a field called first name, I have just searched first and selected contact first name. And then if you are not getting the map button, just minimize your screen a bit. Okay, like zoom out. Then click on map. So this particular field got mapped. Similarly, do for the next field, last name, map, and then the last part, mobile. Contact, mobile, map. So everything has been mapped now. Okay. Amita, Deepti, everything good? Give me a yes or no quickly. Amita, great. So again, it says map field 6. We are ready to have the import. So let's start the import. It says congratulations, your import has started. Now let's go and check the status of the import, how it has been successful or not. Okay. Okay, so right now it's showing status as queued. So let's just refresh the page once again. It might have taken some more milliseconds, let's say. Okay. So now it is saying that the status is completed. Record process 20, record failed 20, retry on 0. So everything is done perfectly. That's how data input will be done. Okay. If now the changes that I have done, if I want to see those changes, I need to go to the contact. Let me just show you that because I have done the updation, so it will be visible most probably. So the contacts object, and now here is in the list I have modified the data for John. Okay, I have modified the mobile number for John. Let's just search for the John object, John detail here. John Dodge, I believe, SVP of sales. So let's just check the details. See, the mobile number has been updated here. So that's how data import works. Okay. So I hope that it's clear for everyone now. Is it clear for everyone? Just raise your hands so I can see how many of you are clear with these things now. I ask you to raise your hands because I can like see a numerical value. Otherwise, I cannot keep counting yes, 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 and then So just raise your hands so I can see how many of you are comfortable. Okay, 11. So far, so good. Keep your hands raised unless and until I ask you to keep it down. Okay. Okay, great. 35 out of 15 out of 35. What about the rest 20? Santan, I meant hands raised like this. You can see in the participant box, not the thumbs up. Okay, great. So let's move ahead then. Let's move to the next part then. That's your exporting data. So for the similar to what we did in the data import thing, similar thing we have for the data export as well, where you can just take out the data from the Salesforce platform to and whatever on-premise thing we have. Okay. So similar to that, we are having two things, data export service and data loader. Okay. So data export services again is a similar thing like data import wizard, which is an in-browser interface in the in-browser service that we have just seen, which we can access from the setup menu. Okay. Now with data export, we can do the automation also. You can see here it's written. You can also export data automatically at weekly or monthly intervals. Okay, whatever you have. Although the feature might vary depending upon the edition of Salesforce that you are using, whether you are using a developer, enterprise, performance, whatsoever. So that thing could vary that you need to check it. Okay. And again, if you need to like export much more data to like some API process or directly or integrate directly to your some other on-premise application of yours, you can use the data loader for that purpose. Okay. So that's just the thing here. You can just read it out and then there is a quiz that you can complete. Okay. So that's you can do on your free time whenever you have that. Right now, let's move to the next part. That's your data security module. Okay. So we have done data management. Event monitoring is your assignment that you will be doing on your own. It's just a basic thing. That's the theory part. Some quiz and all are there. It's very easy, nothing more. It's just like how to monitor the events, like who have logged in, logged out, how you can view the reports and all the things, nothing more. Okay. So let's move to the data security module right now. Okay. So let's open the very first part, overview of data security. Okay. It's a lengthy module, so I will be a little quick. So everyone, please keep your focus on the screens and on my voice, because obviously you cannot see me because I have turned off the camera. So on my voice, please. Not no other distractions. Okay. So till now, we have done a lot of things on the Salesforce platform, like object creation, field creation, page layout, record types, and a lot more. So on also during these steps creation, these entity creation, sorry, we have tried to have some security measures at every step. So first of all, can anyone type in the things like where we have kept, where we have like implemented some security measures during these entities creation? It could be either your object, your field, page, whatsoever. Anyone? Can anyone like recall any security measure that we might have taken? Okay, validation rules. Okay, Mohammed, validation rules. You can say it. You cannot say it's like an actual security measure. It's like validation rules is like much more of having a specific kind of data in your particular form creation and all. Okay, it's not a security measure. Okay, like if someone is filling out like contact detail form and he is trying to fill out the mobile number, then the mobile number should be of 10 digits only. It should not be much like 9 or 11 or 12, 13, anything. So it is more of a data consistency thing instead of a security procedure. Okay, got it, Marmik? No, okay. Record types, you can say security, but it's again a feature. So security measures, as Sombik, Santan and all said, field level security, user rules, object level security. We all have defined these things during the creation. Like if I talk about the very first class of ours, we have installed an app called Dreamforce, and during the app creation itself, we had selected like for whom we are going to install this app for, like installing for admins or installing for users or installing for a specific profile. So at the very first step, we had the security part. Again, when we try to create a field after that, in the field, we had the field level security as Swabik mentioned, okay, where we can select that which particular profiles could be able to see that particular field, or also we had two things called read now or visible. So whatever you want for that particular profile, we can select. Again, if we move ahead, then when we created the object, we have selected the particular apps in which that objects can be viewed and all the things. Tab management, navigation thing we have done up to a certain extent. During the page creation, we have selected a lot of measures that we can do. Like we have selected the particular profiles which where these particular who can view the particular kind of pages, layouts, and all. Okay. Also, record types also you can take as a security measure. Nothing to worry, that we can have much more of a defined criteria for the data access. So yeah, it's fine. Okay. So we have explored. So what I meant in general, that during each and every step, whatever we had done so far in Salesforce, we take the security of our data at its full concern. We do not be negligible, neglectant to the fact that data should be secure. So that's what we have done till now. Right now, in this particular module, we are just taking it a little bit further, where we'll be exploring that into much more depth. Okay, so the very first access, and let me just take the annotate button so that I can show you that it is editable, right? Okay, fine. Let's clear it. Okay. So the very first part is that the sales on Salesforce, there are certain labels in which the data access can be controlled. Okay, so that's what it is, levels of data access. So the very first is your organization. So anyone, what do you mean by organization here? in this particular module, I will be asking much more of questions rather than answering. Okay. So please be quick and ready with your answers. Okay. The company. Okay. Anyone else? What do you mean by the organization here in the Salesforce platform? Yes, org means a particular domain, a group of people working together. Okay, fine. So a place where data is stored. No, it's not a place. Salaja, not a place in general. Okay, org is basically the environment in which you guys are working, like your personal Salesforce infrastructure. You can say it's called as org here, organization, or which you are building for a company or whatsoever. Okay, or as Souvik said, a particular domain. Okay. Yes, great, Marmik, great. A particular, very defined instance of Salesforce that allows to store data. That's fine. Okay. So let's say that's the very first level. What does that mean? Like, if like let's suppose as Santan said, the company. Like, say if you want to visit an office, you are working in a certain organization, certain org. So what could be the very first security step where we will be like denied or allowed the access? What will be the very first thing? We are going to office. So what will be the very first part where will yes, biometric finger or ID tag scan at entry, access card. Correct. So basically, the very first thing will be to enter the org. Okay, like to enter the office, right? Which could be either through like there could be a security guard which will check your identity card, or will ask you details and will allow, or there could be, as you said, access card, gate card, or biometric, or anything like that. Okay, so basically, very first thing, at the very first step where we are controlling the access, right, allowing the particular persons to enter the org or not. And that's what we mean by the org level data access, that whether we are allowing someone into the org or not. Okay, that could be by several methods, as you many one are mentioning. MFA, correct, absolutely. Multi-factor authorization we can have, and Salesforce supports multi-factor authorization. In fact, it's a recommended practice to enable MFA on your orgs. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so that's the very first part on. Now, once you have entered the office, okay. Now, where can you have the access? Level of access now. You have entered the office. There could be several departments, right? Sales department, marketing, developers, testers, programmers, whatsoever, right? Now, as a company person, like if you are a developer, you will go to the developer section, right? You won't go to the sales team, correct? So second level, let's take it that object. So after once a person has logged in to the org, now which object they can access? Like they can access the accounts and contact objects, or leads, or opportunities, or some other custom object that you might have created, properties, favorite that we have created so far. So that will be the second level of a second level. We can like restrict the access. Okay, that will be your objects, like which objects particularly can access. Now, let's suppose that I have given, let me take any one of your name. Let's say Fatima. Okay, because that's the name, latest message. Okay, so I have given Fatima the access to the org, and then I have given Fatima the access to the objects, accounts, contacts, opportunities, and properties. Okay. Now I have given this much access. Now, what will be the next field? After objects, what will come? Your fields. Okay. Now, like if I go here, if I open an object, like I have opened this contacts. Okay. This is the contacts object. So what I'm getting right now? First, the records, and inside in the record we are getting the fields. So now once I have given Fatima the access to the contacts object, now which fields can Fatima see? Either can see all the fields, like whatever details we are having, or she can see only a certain level of things. Like let's suppose Fatima is an intern, they have just joined company, so she should not see all the records of the contacts, because there could be a thing like she's new, she might accidentally leak some data, or say some just forward the data to someone which he should not. So just for security measures at the beginning measure, what we will do, we'll restrict the access to Fatima to like just say see the name fields and let's say address, but the mobile number cannot be visible. So that's where we will the third level of access where it will be controlled. That will be your feeds. Okay. So objects or objects fields, and then will be your records. Now there could be multiple records as it's here, like in the previous page. Let me just go back to the previous page. There could be multiple records. Okay. Now after all these three, on the record part, we are having four different level of accesses again. Okay, as you can see in the record, we are having four level accesses: org wide defaults, role hierarchies, sharing rules, or manual sharing. Okay, now what are these again? So like I am a user. I have created one record, like this record that I have created earlier, Jha, whatever I have created. Okay, Aditya Jha. So contact owner is Aditya Jha. Now, who can be able to see this record? Like only me. Like I have created the record. Then should I only see that record, or all the company can see, or some specific profile that will be defined in the these four levels, all by default: role hierarchies, sharing rules, and manual sharing. So let's just explore it one by one. So all by defaults again, like if I want a particular record, whatever I will be creating to be visible to all the persons in my company. Okay. All the persons who have the access to the org right here. Okay. Then I will just make the org by defaults as public. Okay. Or let's say that I don't want that, then I will just make it as private. So that will be your very first level org by default, which will be like the same for every user in the company. Okay. Now, after that is your role hierarchies. So, anyone, any idea what the role hierarchy will be? This is a common thing, I believe, that everyone would be aware of role hierarchy. Anything that you can get of role hierarchy? Standard user admin. Okay, think of Souvik, think of much more of a real time thing. Yes, role wise assignment. Correct. As Marmik and Aniket said, higher position will have most access. So in a company, there could be multiple roles. As I said, Fatima is an intern. She's a trainee right now. There could be some persons above her who will be her reporting manager. Then there will be HOD, head of departments. Then there will be CEO, CFO, and a lot more persons. So there will be a hierarchy in every company. Now, do I want the record that I have created? Do I want this particular record to be visible to all the persons in the hierarchy or not, that I can select? Secondly, like a certain record, there could be like you can see only a specific record, but like there are two persons in the company. For me, if I want to see the other employee details, I can see a certain things. Okay. But my reporting manager can see a little more, like which tasks have been assigned and all. Then the CEO can see how much salary is he drawing, how much expenses he is doing for the company and all. So based upon that, we can set the role hierarchy structure that whatever we want to have. Okay. Next is your sharing rules. Now, sharing rule, as it says, the rules which are meant for sharing, a very basic answer. Okay. About like now, what like we are sharing the data, but now we want to share the data on the basis of certain conditions. Like, let's suppose that if a particular employee is is from the sales department and is having the approval of manager and is having salary much more than 50,000 or whatsoever, then only he can see this record. Okay. So if I want to set certain rules for to a particular record to be visible, I will be using the sharing rules. And the last one, it's I don't think it's need to be explained. That's manual sharing. That like if I want to just manually share it, I can go here. There will be option like where it is. Okay, cannot find it. Nothing. Okay, here. No, it's not that. Anyway, just like manually share, I can take a screenshot and share, or there could be several options like share to LinkedIn and all. So that's your manual sharing. You can just share it to any person that we want. Okay. So first tell me, Are these levels of data access clear to you? Org, objects, fields, records, then inside records, org-wide defaults, role hierarchy, sharing rules, manual sharing. Are these clear to everyone? If it's clear, raise your hand. If it's not, please put your question in the chat box, because these are very important things. You need to get it very in a good manner, you know. That's why I'm insisting too much time on it. Okay, I can see 9 hands raised. What about others? If you have not understood anything, please post your question in the chat box and we'll be happy to explain it again. Because this is what the theory is. In the next modules, in the next units, we'll be just doing the hands-on part for all these levels one by one. Like firstly, we'll be doing for the org by default, then we'll be doing for the field level, then for object level and all the things. Okay. So at that part, I will be like moving to the hands-on very quickly. So if any doubts, if anything there is there which you have not understood, let me know right now. I'm giving you guys 2 minutes. Read it out once and let me know. I can see 12 hands. I will be happy to see much more. Yes, Sovic will be doing the hands-on. Don't worry. That's what we are here for. But the theory also need to be understood to a certain level first, okay, to do the hands-on. Okay, everyone, whoever have understood the things, the level of data access, please raise your hands. Or if you have any particular question, anything that you have not understood, just put that in the chat box so that we can just discuss it once more. I'm ready to discuss to allot the time for this particular topic because it's essential. Like everything is essential, but this is like the concept that you need to understand that very depth, first of all. Okay. So I'm not getting any particular questions or queries from you guys. So, okay, well, I got one question. So let me just check it out first. Fatima has got a full-time job elsewhere and switches the company. Does her first company delete her data after the leave? Is it feasible to cascade delete her generated data migrated? It's some higher rule hierarchy. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So Marmik, great question first of all, thinking of a scenario like that. So yeah. So as you said, like Fatima has got a full-time job elsewhere. Okay. So first of all, congratulations to Fatima for that. And now whatever the records that she have created. Like for those records, obviously those records are not meant for just for Fatima. First of all, that records are meant for the company. So it's not like that once Fatima leaves, the records will be deleted. Or in fact, on the Salesforce platform, once a particular user has been created, the user ID doesn't get deleted. You cannot delete a user ID ever on the Salesforce platform. Okay, the user ID will always be there. It's just that it will be in a deactivated state. So whatever the things, the records or data that Fatima might have been created will be available there, and that can be accessed via the Salesforce admin. Okay, whoever the administrator will be for the companies, he or she can access the data, or it's the company decision again whether if they want to delete the data, they can delete, or if they can just keep it with them, they can just. If in fact, if let's say like Fatima regretted her decision to join the other company as a full time, and she wants to come back and join the previous company as full time again, then what they can do, the Salesforce admin, they can just make that particular sales account of Fatima active again, and then the data and everything will be there, which they can have the access again. Okay, so it can work like that. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Marmik. Yes, yes, yes. It completely depends upon the company. See, whatever we are discussing, we are trying to have as much as scenario as we can. Okay. But at the end, the company will be having the whole authority that what they want to do with a particular set of things. Okay. But they are the owners. They will be paying for it. You know. No, no, that's what I said, Aniket. Okay, let me know. Have you guys done the user authentication modules? Have you guys done that? Just give me a yes or no. Have you guys done that user authentication module or user management, something like that? Because I believe I have not taught that particular module in the class as of now. Okay, no problem. So what happens on the Salesforce platform, as I just said, I'm just repeating the thing, that once a user has been created, okay, like if a account has been created for some person, that account can be deactivated or freeze. It can't be deleted. Okay. So the profile, as you said, Aniket, cannot be deleted, and the data can be deleted. Okay, but for the data part, it's up to the company whether they want to delete or not. The ID will not be deleted. ID will be there. Okay, it will be just in a deactivated state. Like no one can access that. Okay, the access will be denied. Yes, Souvik, you said absolutely right. The user IDs or basically the profile types for the user IDs are dependent upon the license that the company has purchased. So obviously, it will be depending upon that. And as I said, at the end, it will be company decision only that what the company needs to do, what is the company requirements. Okay. Okay. So let's move to the next part. Okay. Apart from that, here we are having some audit system use cases that we can just have a look at quickly. Okay. So like we are having some record modification field, like whenever you will be creating some records, some data you have seen like created and modified by on the details are already there, which gives you some like information about the field history tracking and tracking things and all. Okay. Also, you can have the list of login history, like who have logged into the org and all the things. Field history tracking. If you have enabled the field history tracking that you might have enabled in the recruitment app, I believe earlier, then you can just track how many times the field data has been edited, created, and all the things that you can have. And also you can set up an audit trail like for automated thing that you need to do. You can have that. Okay. Let's jump to the next module right now because we are running out of time a little bit. So let's just do it quickly. So controlling access to the org. I'm okay. Here we are having the things. Okay. So I will be not going through the like the steps here in the instructions part because they have nothing to do with the challenge thing. I will be doing the challenge and will be explaining the things in that particular part as well. Okay. So everyone focus towards the screen. So what's the challenge here is create a new user with the system administrator profile and the user license for that will be Salesforce. Okay. So we already have the thing launched on our screen. So let's go here, setup page, room. So for a new user creation, basically user, what's the user is? Anyone who will be logging to the org. Okay. So let's go to the users part. Okay. Search users in the quick find box, go to users. Now you can see some users are already there. We need to create a new user. So just click on new user here. Okay. Now, whatever it has said in the challenge part, just provide the same things. It has set the profile to be system administrator with the user license Salesforce. Okay. So it has not specified any role, but because role is a mandatory field, as you can see, so I'm selecting any role here, any random role. Now user license is Salesforce. Now, as Souvik said, the licenses are something that that's what we pay for. Okay, like whenever you are purchasing a particular Salesforce subscription or whatsoever, we'll be getting a certain number of licenses. Or like for Salesforce, we will be getting 5 licenses or something like that. Okay, and on that particular user licenses, some profiles can be linked. And only that much license, whatever licenses you are having for a particular set of profiles or you can use only that much. For example, like in this Trailhead Playground, okay, let me just duplicate this tab that I can show you that. Let's go to company. Okay, everyone search company information here. Okay, company information in the quick find box. Okay, now here on this page, you can see whatever user licenses you are having for your particular org. Okay, so right now you can see Salesforce, it says active licenses 2. Okay, sorry, status active, total licenses are 2, in which one user license has already been used. So where is it that one user license is being used? So as you can see, if I selected the user license Salesforce, the profile is coming as system administrator. So that means that we have already used one license with the system admin profile with which we are using this particular org right now. Okay, so that's one thing. We are having one remaining. So whatever the license, whatever if we will create one more user with this particular license, then this license will be exhausted, and then after that we will not be able to create any new user with a Salesforce license because we had only 2 licenses here in this learning environment. Okay, in the learning environment for this Trailhead Playground, if you create multiple playgrounds, you will be getting multiple licenses things again. Okay. Also, one more thing, everyone, please lower down your hands right now. When I will ask again, then you can just raise it up. But right now, just please lower down, everyone. Lower down your hands. Whenever when I will ask to raise, then raise it up. Okay, please lower it down. Okay, so that's what licenses is. Okay, so if you want to check, you can just go to company information and check. Right now, in the instruction, okay, Saleja says repeat. So Saleja, we have done nothing. We have just clicked on users. First user in the quick find box, then we have selected users here, okay, in the setup page, then new user, and then we are just filling out the form as per given in the instructions. As it says, profile system administrator, user license Salesforce, that's it. That's what we are doing. So role, I'm just selecting any random role because I want to provide, need to provide a role. Then user license Salesforce, system admin. Now it's saying first name, last name, and all. So first name is not mandatory, last name is. So I'm just giving any last name. I have given Michael. So as soon as you type last name, the alias is coming up. But we don't want this alias here. What it says? It said alias will be guest ADM. Let's type guest ADM here. Now it's asking for an email. So just provide any email. Like everyone, if you want to like explore how this new user will be implemented in the front end, like how that user can log in and all, give it your personal email ID, or you can just provide any random email ID like a@b.com or anything. Okay. I will be typing the random email ID here. Okay. So whatever email ID you will be punching in, same thing gets reflected in the username. I don't want this username as of now. Okay. What it says that it says the username must contain guest admin somewhere in it. So I'm just typing some random things like AB guest admin @sf.com. Okay, one more thing here, everyone, that your username should be in an email format. Okay, your email will obviously be in a email format, but your username should also be in an email format only, like something @something.com.in.org whatsoever. But it should be like this. You cannot have just like AB guest admin. You cannot have this. Okay, you need to have it in a user format like this one. I have again changed it. Okay. Also, it's a username, so obviously it will be a globally unique thing. So don't just copy the same thing that I have typed here. Type any random combinations, like whatever you want, some letters, digits, whatsoever. Just give it some unique thing. Okay. So that's one thing. Also, you can see here we have a button called active, which is by default checked and it cannot be edited right now. Okay. So what does it mean? That when we will be finalizing the user creation, the user will be active only. Okay. And there are several more options that you can explore a little bit. I'm not getting into all of that right now. Okay. Now, in the last part, it says generate new password and notify user immediately. So if you have seen the process on several websites, like whenever you will be creating an account on their website, what happens that you immediately get a mail in your inbox, like in your Gmail IDs or whatsoever you are using, that kindly set up a password for the same. So this is how it works. If I have clicked this one, then the user will automatically get a mail and then they can reset their password. Okay. So right now, this is all that we need to do here. Okay. First thing. And then last part says the new user must be inactive. But during the creation, we cannot make the user inactive. As you can see, the active field is not editable. So first we need to create the user, then we'll be making it as inactive. There's a save. So the user has been created right now, and it's in active state. As you can see, the profile is system administrator. And now we have to make it inactive. So let's click on edit button. And let's uncheck this checkbox in front of active. And let's save it. So now it will be inactive. Okay. So that's the very first level, controlling access to the org by providing the user credentials. Okay. So I believe any questions till this point? That's what we have done, the deactivation of the user. Yeah, right now, Sobik, it can't be verified because I have given a dummy email, but I have said, like, if you guys want to explore, just provide your personal email IDs and make sure that the last checkbox, generate new username, password for the particular user is selected, then you will get an email ID. Sorry, you will get an email in your inbox. You can just set up your password and then you can log in to the org with that particular user. Okay. So I have not done here, but if you want, you can just do that. Yes, Obi, please ask another question. Please keep typing. Don't wait. I will be keep answering. We are having a limited time, so we cannot like bear to waste it. Okay, it's if something is triggered by this user, will this mail be sent to the user mail only or to the admin user as well? Or is it configured? Sorry, Shovik, I couldn't understand what do you mean by triggered? Yeah, in this particular scenario, what do you mean by triggered? Can you just give me a little explanation of that? Saleja, you might be getting the error for username because you have just not given a unique one. Okay, try to give a unique one and make sure to follow the guidelines. The username must contain guest admin somewhere in it. Guest admin, as it says, guest admin. Okay, please get it. Can we change email ID in the future? Just click on edit and let's check whether we can change it or not. So obviously we can change. Here you can see. Okay, Marmik, it's in front of you. You can just check it. If a value of a field say marks is exceeding 90, then send a mail. This is a scenario. Okay, do you mean for the user creation or for the implementation part where we'll be creating the records and all? Like, let me just say that, let's say that you are asking for a record part, which I can, okay, implementation as I expected. So in that case, it's what it will be whatever we have defined. Like when like if you have you guys done the discount the approval process thing? Have you guys done that? Yes. Then in that approval process part, you might have seen that at every part we can like set that who will be the receivers for that particular thing. Like once the records gets approved, who all will be getting the approval mail, like this record has been approved or not, or it has been rejected, or there could be another step. So whatever will be, it will be completely configurable according to your requirements of it. Okay. So as per your scenario that you given, like if the marks is exceeding 90, then send a mail. So obviously we can create an approval process for that. And in that particular part, we can do it. Or we can also do this through a flow also, by the way. Okay. Okay, this is your first class. Okay, okay, Shobhi. Great, great. It's great to see your enthusiasm, excitement for the first class, by the way. Okay. Okay. So here are two more things. First one is deactivating the user that we have already seen that if I want to just deactivate the user completely, I can just make the user inactive as we have done it here. Okay. The second thing is here the freeze button. Now, what will be the difference between these two? Just understand it very quickly. Let's suppose that some complaint came against a particular employee, and now the employee is in under investigation. Now, during the investigation process, he should not be allowed the access to the to the org or the company. Okay. So what will happen that his or her access will be restricted. But as he or she is still the part of company, he has not been yet suspended or terminated or whatsoever. Her records or whatever the data relations that might have been created with her, like the hierarchy table or whatsoever, still stay intact, because it could be that after the investigation, he or she should resume the will resume the company and will start working same manner as earlier. Okay. So for that purposes, we can just freeze the accounts. Okay. Otherwise, let's say now we have freezed it, but investigation turned out the other way. The employee found guilty, and yes, I am talking about that scenario, Marvin. Now, Fatima has been hired, so let's not talk about it. Okay. Anyways, so now investigation turned out to the other way. And now the employee is being fired. So now his the all the linkings, whatever has been done for that particular employee, like the role hierarchy or the permissions that rules permission or whatsoever, should not be is intact again. Now that at that point, what you can do, we can just deactivate the user. And as I said, there is no option to delete, as you have seen. So we can just either deactivate or freeze. Okay. Aniket, I am explaining that only. If freeze and inactive. By inactive, we mean deactivate. Okay. That's what I'm explaining right now. Hopefully, Fatima is still in the company. Okay. Moving ahead. Okay. So that's what the difference between. Okay. Can you please repeat it again? Guys, please, everyone, I'm requesting all of you, please listen to everything very with a full focus, because we are having a limited time. I can explain. I have no issues in that. The time we have in a certain quantity only. Okay. So yeah. freeze and deactivate. Let's suppose that we just need to restrict the access for a particular employee for a certain period of time. Like in this case, as I as in this case, I said like the investigation is going on. Okay. So during the investigation, the employee should not be like terminate like not have been like revoked the access. Employee still would be having the all the sharing rules or the records or access whatever it have, because after a certain point, like let's suppose the investigation uh, uh, came out to be not guilty, the employee will be back in company, then he or she should start using the things again the same manner. For that particular purposes, we'll be using the freeze option, where the access will be freeze, but rest all the whatever the configurations would have been done will stay intact. Okay. But let's suppose the investigation goes the other way. If the employee found guilty, he has been terminated. Now, what will happen now that as he is found guilty, we will deactivate or make the user inactive. Okay. Now, when we make the user inactive, all the relation or sharing notes, whatever have been configured for that particular user will be deleted. It will be deactivated. Okay. But the user will be still be there. As you can see, the user, whatever I have given the name Michael, is still there. It's not has been deleted. So user cannot be deleted, but all the configuration will be revoked. All the accesses will be revoked. Is it clear now? Sorry, everyone. Is it clear now, everyone? Just raise your hands if it's clear. Just raise your hands quickly. Quickly, everyone. Please raise your hands. If it's clear, just raise your hands. Quick. Okay, fine. Lower down. Okay. Now, the next things are restrict login access by IP addresses using profiles. So if I want like part that users should be able to log in to a particular set of IP addresses only. Okay. Like your office has the IP addresses from X range to Y range, and the user should log in only when he is in the office, like from the office IPs only. Okay. So for that, we can select this particular option where I can just configure the particular IP ranges. Then the user will be able to log in only through that. Okay. Then the second thing is your login access by time. For example, there could be multiple shifts in a company, as you might have seen. Rotational shifts are there for US shifts. It will be different timing. UK shifts, it will be different timing, and so on. So whatever things will be, according to that, we can select the login access time for each and every employee, whatever the shift he or she is working upon. Can do. There is one more thing where it, yeah, here it is. Sorry, I missed it here in the mid. It's your trusted IP address ranges. For example, let's say I am given the whole work from home to Fatima. Okay. Now, obviously, in her home, she will be having a different IP address. Okay. Because she will be using her personal Wi-Fi and all. Now, I want that Fatima to only, as I've given her work from home, she should only use a particular IP address only. Okay. She should not be like outside home roaming around in the name of work from home. Fatima, you should not do that ever. Okay. So for that particular thing, what I can do, I can just select the trusted IP ranges, like whatever the Fatima IP address will be, I can just configure that. That for Fatima, I would be able to log in through that IP address range only. Okay, whatever the trust IP address I have secured or I have mentioned as trusted. Okay, so that's some things here. Have a look at it again and do it in a little more detail. I've just given you a very brief overview of all this. Okay. Now let's move to the next part, controlling access to objects. So we have done the first level access, that's or now the next part is to objects. Okay. I will not repeat the things here. Just a few things that's your profiles. So first of all, let me know what do you understand by profile? Are you guys able to understand what a profile is, or should I explain it? Just give me a yes or no quickly in the chat box. You are guys able to understand? Okay. Should I skip it? Okay. So let me just skip the thing. As you see, profile are just the user ID, profile that we are creating, like system administrator, salesperson, marketing persons, and all. Okay. So whenever we are creating an object or field, we are restricting the access to that particular profile objects or fields to the profiles, and there is other thing called permission set. Okay, these are two different things. Okay. So profile we have already seen. Whenever you have created the objects or fields, we have during the field creation we have selected the field level security, where we have selected the profile. During the page layout creation also we have selected the profile. So for the profile set we have already seen how the security procedure work for profiles. Okay. Now let me just give you a brief overview what a permission set is. Okay. So what a permission set is, like if I want to expand the access to for a particular user to a certain extent, then I will be using a permission set. Let me just give you a scenario quickly. Like let's suppose Sobik has joined the company, and in the initial phase, I have given him the access to one object, like say properties. Okay, but after a week, a task has been assigned to him. Okay, in that task, he want just to see a particular field of the contact object. Let's say the names. Okay, names of the contact object, contacts. Okay, now if I will modify everything in the profile section, then let's say that there is a profile for the trainee interns, let's say interns. Okay, so Sobik is not the only intern, there are multiple interns, all of you are interns in that particular profile. Now I need to give the access only to Sobik for the name field on the contact object. Rest all of you won't have any other access. Now, if I will edit the profiles settings, then obviously it will be for everyone, all the interns. I don't want to have that, but I want to have just to give one additional access to Sobik. Now, how will I do that? For that purposes, I can use the permission set thing, in which I can create a permission set where I will be just giving one access, like name contacts, and I will be assigning that particular permission set to Sobik. Now, Sobik, what the accesses Sobik will be having? Sobik will be having all the accesses, whatever the intern profile has, and he will have another access for the name profile as per the permission set. So it's like to expand the access to a certain extent. Yes, that's what I said, Sobik, that within a particular profile, like just I said, the intern. I do not want to give the access to a contact object, a name field on the contact object to all the interns. I just want to give it to you. So that's what we have just discussed. So that's what permission set will be used for, like to expand the access to for a particular user. For profiles, it will be like for a group of users, but with permission set, it will be like specifically for a user. Okay, is it clear, everyone? Just give me a yes or no. Great. Percent do we have? 40. Okay, fine. So that's what permission set is. That's the basic concept. Now let's jump on to the hands-on part quickly. Okay. So let's go to the hands-on part. It says review the challenge. So it says we need to clone the minimum access Salesforce profile with these following settings. So I will be doing it quickly. Put a focus on the screen so that you don't miss anything. Okay. Because I am running out of time a little bit, so I will be doing it a little fast. Okay. So let's go to the Yes, absolutely. We can give a permission set assignment to multiple users from different profiles. Completely, we can do it. Yes. Okay. So similarly to users, the search profiles in the quick find box. Okay, let me know one thing. Is the screen good for you, or should I zoom in or do something? Because I have not zoomed in the screen to 100% because at certain points I would be required to like zoom out again and again. So I'm doing it like this. It's comfortable for everyone, right? Zoom in a little bit. Okay, let me make it 90 then. Okay, I hope it's fine. Let's make it 100. Okay, whatever. Okay, so in the profiles, you can see I have selected search profiles quick find box, and then I have the profiles list. Okay, now here you can see in the all the profiles there are two buttons: edit, clone, and in certain profiles you can see other option also called delete. Okay, so again, whatever the standard things will be, you will not be able to delete that, as we have discussed in the previous classes also. Like standard objects cannot be deleted, standard fields cannot be deleted, standard things cannot be deleted. That's the very basic rule. Okay. What we can do with standard things, we can edit it to a certain extent. Also, most of the standard things are not editable as well. Some things will be editable to a slight extent. That's it. Okay. Now, let's suppose that I want to create a profile which will be a replica of a standard profile, but will be having certain more access or less access. Now, if I want to, like, let's suppose that a standard profile has 100 accesses. I want to have 101 access for a different profile. Okay. Now, the standard profile I cannot edit, but I want 100 access. Now, if I will create a completely new profile and will give 100 access, it will be a lengthy process. I don't want to do that. What I can do, I can just clone it. Now, whenever I will be cloning, the same profile will be cloned. Okay. And then in that new profile, I can just add one new access. So now in the new profile, I will be having 100 access by just adding one access. That's it. So that's what we are doing to do here right now. So it says clone the minimum access Salesforce profile. So let's close this. Okay. Also, okay, in this company information partner, let's refresh this page. I wanted to show one thing to you. Yeah. So if you can see, okay, it's remaining licenses one. Okay. Yeah, because I have made that inactive. Okay, let it be. Let's close this window. Okay. So we need to clone the minimum access Salesforce profile. So go just click on M at the top. Here we are having all the alphabets. Just click on M. Then minimum access Salesforce. Click in on the clone button in front of it. Now it's asking what the name of the new profile should be. So as per the instructions, I believe it would be cleaner. If I'm wrong, please correct me because I can be a little wrong sometime. Okay. So cleaner. The new profile has been created with the same exact settings as minimum access Salesforce right now. Okay, this is the new profile that we have created. You can see the name is cleaner. Okay, now what it says, the profile has been created. Now it says control access for the cleaner profile. What accesses we need to control? We need to do the object permissions, accounts, contacts, and leads. Okay, so let's go here. You can see certain options are here. Let's click on the edit button first of all. Everyone, I'm requesting all of you to please look at it carefully because the navigation here can be a little bit deviating. So please look carefully. Right now, I am doing the editing for the object permissions. Okay, please listen, object permissions. For that, I'm clicking on the edit button here. Okay. Now, in the app on this page that I have just given, it's all editable as you can see. Very first thing, it says custom app settings. I want to do some apps edit at the app settings. I can do that. Similarly, connected apps and a lot more settings. I'm not going into all of that. Page layouts and everything are there. So whatever you want, we can do. I will just scroll down and you can see here I am having the standard object permissions. Okay, standard, and then also we are having the custom object permission. Whatever we need to edit, we can do that. Okay. Right now, what we need to do, we need to give object permissions for accounts, contacts, and leads, and what permission read and edit. Okay, so let's just search those objects. Obviously, these three objects are standard objects: account, contact, and leads. So it will be in the standard object permission part of. Okay, so accounts, read, and edit. So just select the checkbox in front of account, read and edit. Similarly, let's go and search for contacts. Don't search for contracts. Search for contacts. These two can be confusing sometimes. Contacts. Similarly, let's search for leads. It will be somewhere here. L. Yeah. Leads. Read and read. Okay. So this is how the object level settings can be edited. One thing you have already done in doing the object creation. Second, we can do it here. Okay. This is for the object level. Now on this page, if you scroll down to the even to the bottom part, you cannot see any field level permissions. Okay, because the field level permissions will be navigated through another way. Okay. Also in the last, you can see password policies. So I believe all of you know what password policy is. Basically, what kind of password a user should create. It should be 8-digit, 12 digits, should contain a special character or not. If I want certain specific profiles to have a specific set of specific kind of password, I can just select that password policy here. Also, if additionally, I am having a password policy like for the complete org as well, that can be accessed through this quick find box if you want, like this password policies. Okay. So depending upon the requirements again, whatever you want, whatever the, not just alphanumeric, it depends, whatever you want, we can have that. Okay. So this is the object level permission access. Let's just save it. Okay. Saving done. So the new profile has been saved and it's done. Okay. It says, okay, I missed one thing. It says make sure to edit and create object permissions are not enabled for any other objects in the cleaner profile. So you can just check it for in the list that if there are any which have these permissions, just make sure to uncheck that. Okay. So that's controlling access to objects. I will be a little fast right now. I will be giving the time for questions. Just be with me for 5 more minutes. Okay. Let's go to control access to fields. Okay. Now we have done the objects part. Similarly, in the next challenge, it is asking us to do for the fields. So I am not doing this challenge. I am just giving you a overview. How? Okay, let's do the challenge only. No worry. It will just take me 2 minutes. So let's go back to profiles. Let's search profiles. In this particular challenge, it has asked us to clone a new profile called standard user and name it as sales. So I'm just doing it quickly. S standard user. Let's clone it, give it a name, let's type sales, save it. Okay. Same things it says, first of all, it's asking for the standard object permissions, read, create, edit. You know how to do it. I'm just doing it quickly. For object, click on edit, then go to standard object permission, scroll down until you get it. Okay. So it says we want read, create, and edit. So read, create, edit, delete is also selected. So we just need to select delete. Similar for the contacts, we need to do the same thing. Let's search for contacts. Let's delete it and check it. Okay, done. So object level permissions done. Let's save. Now, next part it says field permissions. So what it says that we need to make sure that the rating field on the accounts objects should not have any access. Sorry. So for the object permissions now, what we need to do, we don't need to click on the edit button. We are on the sales profile page that we have created. We need to just scroll down. And now we can see field level security on this page itself. Now you can see all the objects names, whatever we are having standard, custom, whatsoever. Now, whichever object we want to do the field level security changes, we need to select that particular object here. So as it says, rating field on the accounts object. So let's select accounts object here. Click on view button in front of accounts object or inside the field level security part. View button. Okay. Then you can see all the fields, whatever the accounts object has, you can see account source, name, on number, owner, everything. All the accesses that has been granted. Now what we need to do, we need to edit it. So let's just click on the edit button now. Now what field we need to edit? Rating field. So let me check where the rating field is. Here it is. Rating. What we need to do, we need not to give any access. So just select, uncheck all the check boxes. So no access. Read access and read access both has been revoked. Let's just save it. Okay. So everyone understood till this point? Have you guys understood this point? Give me a yes or no. The how to edit the object level permission accesses and field level accesses. Give me a yes or no. Then I will move to the next part here, the permission set thing. First, let's get it through till this point. I got only one yes. What about others? What about others? See, whenever we are doing the work on a like a GUI based platform, like what it is, this is a Salesforce platform. The main thing, what I believe, it's my personal view. First of all, don't take it as a general one. What I believe that you should be able to learn the navigation properly because that's what we needed to do. We don't need to like write the codes, so we don't need to learn the syntax most of the time. But the navigation is something essential. So you need to learn the navigation properly. Once you have done the navigation, then most of the things will be done in a jiffy. That's it. Okay. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just waiting for 2 minutes till 7:40. Everyone, do till this point. And if you are able to do it everything properly, raise your hands. If you have any question, put in the chat box. Those who have understood till this part, raise your hands. I'm seeing some names for the first time. Amita, Monica, have you joined the previous classes as well, or it's your first time today? Okay, if there is anyone who is attending this class for the very first day, please just type it your name in the chat box, or just type hi whatsoever. If it's your first day, apart from Souvik already told it's his first day. Sorry. Okay, you attended first one and this one. Aniket, please be regular. Okay. Anusha, it's first class for Anusha. Okay, welcome Anusha, Souvik. Okay, Amita, you have been in previous classes, I might have. Okay, everyone, please make sure, please raise your hands if you have understood this point. These are very important things. You must understand it properly, the navigation and all. Also, everyone, I'm sharing some links in the chat box. Okay, some other thing also got shared. You can just ignore that. Okay, I have shared some again. Anyways, in the chat box, I have shared some links. It's the links of our social handles for the Future Skills Prime social handle, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all. I request all of you, please follow us on the social media. Please tag us in your post. Put some post for the learning journey that we are going through. Has your experience been? And please tag us also in those posts so that we can see how you guys are liking it or not. And okay, so everyone, please refer to the links in the chat box and make sure to follow us on this social media portal. Okay, please review field permission. Okay. Shailaja, just have a look at the screen. So I'm going back to the profile. So to do the field level security settings, what you need to do, we need to open the profile. As you can see on my screen, it's the profiles details screen for the sales profile, as you can see. Okay. Now, for the object levels, you should click on the edit button here only. But for field, we don't need to do that. We need to scroll down and then we'll be getting the field level security option here. Now, here we need to select whatever whatever field object we need to select that which will contain the particular field that we need to edit. For like example, in this case, we need to edit the field rating, which which was on the account object. So we'll be selecting the view button first of all in front of the account object. Okay, then we'll be selecting edit, and then we'll be setting the changes whatever we need to do, and then save. So this is how the field level permissions will be carried out. Okay. Everyone, whoever have understood till this point, please raise your hands. I can see only 6 hands right now. Just raise your hands quickly so that I can see how then I can move forward also. There are a lot of things that we need to do. Okay, fine. Everyone lower down your hands. I'm moving to the next part. So now in the next part, it says, let's create a new permission set. So as it said, permission set will be used for the expansion of the accesses. So just search permission set in the quick find box quickly. Then select permission sets. Now similar to that profile, you can see a lot of permission sets, standard permission sets, which can clone. Okay. But here it has asked us to create a new one. So just click on new button, then give it a name for the permission set, rating. And then we also need to select a license. select Salesforce here, this particular part. I need to search for Salesforce where it is. Salesforce API credentials. Okay, it will be at the top somewhere only, no? Yeah, here it is, Salesforce. So just select the license and save. Your new permission set has been created. Okay. Now, what we need to do here in this particular permission set. So you can see the screen is still the same. It's like apps, whatever apps in the settings I need to change, we can just select the specific permissions first, settings first of all. Okay. It says control access for the rating permissions. What is asking that we need to give the permission now for the rating fields on the account object. So basically for the profile, we revoke the accesses, but now we are allowing that access through permission set for that could be a particular user. Okay. So for that, here let's go to the object settings. Here, what object we need to have? That will be our accounts object. So let's select accounts object because the rating field is on the accounts object. Now click on edit, and now we need to enable the rating field access for the account object. So let's just search for the rating field here. Select the accesses. Select both the checkbox. Also, if I need to say give the all the object access for the account as well, I can just select the object permissions here in the field permissions here. That's it. Okay. Then save. Now the permission set has been configured for that particular thing. Now, as the permission set has been created, if I want to assign it to a particular user, what will I do? I will click on manage assignments, and then can click on add assignment and add a particular user for that. For example, I can use add Aditya Jha for this particular, or let's say Michael for this particular access. Next. Okay, selected, assign. Now the user, okay, it's says assignment failed because the user is inactive. We have inactivated the user, and that's what we meant by deactivation, by the way. Again, explanation of that. Okay. So this is how we can add the assignment. Let me just show you it again for Aditya Jha. Let's say, so that you can see it being in a successful manner as well. Next, assign. And now you can see one assignment was successful. Okay. So this is how we use the permission sets. Everyone clear? Done till this point? Understood? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no in the chat box, please. Okay, thank you, thank you. So this is the third level of access. We have done all objects, then fields. Now the next part will be for our records. So again, for the records, we are having 4 level of access inside the record. That will be your org default, then role hierarchy, then sharing rule, then manual sharing. So we'll be doing that one by one. So first of all, in this particular part, control access to records, we'll be doing the org by default. Then in the role hierarchy, we'll be doing the role hierarchy, and then the sharing rules, we'll be defining the sharing rule. So let's just do it quickly. Everyone, please focus towards the screen. Okay. So I have already explained these things to you, that manual sharings and all the things. So I'm not explaining it again. You can just read it out on your own whenever you have the time. Okay. And you know what public and private is, right? Is there anyone who doesn't understand what the public access meant and what the private access meant? Is there anyone? Okay. I believe I take this silence as a no. I believe everyone knows it. Okay. So it says, first of all, create for this challenge, it says create a custom project object. So let's go. Let's create a custom object manager, new object. Let's create one named project. Plural label we need to provide as we have done earlier. You know all these things, so I'm just doing it quickly again. Okay. Projects. Anything else that is asked? Record name, project name, data type text. That's all it has been done. Let's just save it. Okay. So project creation done. Now it says configure org by default setting for the project. So the project records are only visible to the record owner. It says that we need to configure the settings for this project object in such a manner that only the person who will be creating the records will be able to see those particular records. So let's go home. Now here, search for sharing rules. Sorry, sharing settings. search type sharing, then select sharing settings. Now on the top, you can see it's asking us to select first of all the object. Manage sharing settings. For right now, it's all objects. So we are seeing the settings for all the objects here. But what we need to do for, we just need for the project object that we have just created. So let's just select project object here on the drop down. It's here, project. Now the things have been narrowed down. You can see only certain thing. Right now, by default, it says internal access is read write, external access is private. Okay, so any third party who will be accessing the Salesforce will not be able to see the records created on the project records. Okay, but internally it can be read and write. But what the situation says here that we need to configure it in such a manner so that it will be visible only to the record owner. Like in fact, even inside the org, the other org authorized users should also not see it. Okay, so let's click on edit button. Now, then we need to search for the project object and let's make it private only. Okay, so public, we have made it private for internal as well as external. We have made it private for both of them. Also, there is a third checkbox which says grant access using hierarchy. So now if I want that the upper hierarchy level, like Fatima again as an intern has created some records on the project object, and now that particular record should be visible to the reporting managers and all, then I should make sure that these checkboxes select. Okay, but let's say I don't want that record to be viewed to the upper level hierarchy person, then I will just uncheck it. Okay, and here it says that also configure saying the project records are visible to the users above them in the role hierarchy. It said it needs to be visible. So we need to make sure that it remains checked here. Okay, so this is what role hierarchy things are and or by default. So let's just save it. Save, done. Okay, understood. Or by default, how can we configure it? Okay, so that's your or by default. Now, if I will move ahead, then there is a role hierarchy thing here provided. Okay, so now is the other thing, search for roles in the quick find box. Search for roles, select roles here. Now, let's create a role hierarchy for our organization here. So just click on setup roles button here. Then again, you can see the hierarchy, whatever we have by default. It says ICT Academy, then we have CEO, CFO, CO, and all the things which we are getting by default. We have not created anything yet. If we want to delete, we can just delete it. Okay, whatsoever. So as per the challenge, it's asking us to, it will asking us to create some roles here. It says the chief, we need to create the chief sales officer role, and this role will be reporting into the CEO. Okay, and everyone, please listen carefully. We will be creating a role called chief sales officer who will be reporting to the CEO. So how will we doing it? So here you can see CEO, and beneath the CEO, we can see an option called add role. So if I want a particular person to be reporting to CEO, I can just select the add role button beneath the CEO itself. Okay, so I will just select add role. Then the fields came up. I will just type in the details like the chief sales officer, role name, everything. Now, let's suppose that you have accidentally selected the add role in beneath some other particular role, like not CEO, we have selected in front of SVP, sales manager or anything. Nothing to worry then in that case. You can just select the lookup icon here, and then you can select whatever other role you want to have. Okay, like I have changed it to CFO, but I want it as CEO only. So right now I'm just changing it to CEO again. Then we can just click on save button if you're just okay to do, or otherwise you can click on the save and new button. And here in this particular case, I want to create two other roles as well here. So I am just selecting save and new. Okay, so save and new. And again, this page came up. Now the next field that we need to create is, I think it's, let me check. It's sales strategy manager. And this role will be reporting to the chief sales officer. So let's create it. Sales strategy manager. So just put in the details. Now select the profile that it should report to. Click on the search icon here. Chief sales officer. Select chief sales officer. Save and new again. Then Similarly, for training coordinator, it should repeat to the sales strategy manager. So select sales strategy manager and then save. Okay. So all the roles has been created. If we will go back to the rules thing again, then you will be able to see that hierarchy here. And you can see inside CEO, we are having chief sales officer. Inside that, we are having sales strategy manager. Inside that, we are having the training coordinator. And there is nothing inside that. So it's like that. Okay. So this is how we can create the role hierarchy and can restrict the access as per the roles. Okay. Now, the last thing is your sharing rules. Okay. So let's just do it quickly. I will be. I know I am getting a little faster, but that's because of this. Just because of time concern. Nothing to worry. Nothing else. Okay. So now in this part, it says we need to create a custom field for the project object first of all. So let's go to the object manager and do the project. Let's search for the project object and create a new field on that particular project object. The project object, fields, and relationship. You all know these steps. Those who are here for the very first time, these things might have been a little messy for you right now, but these are very basic things. Nothing to worry. These are just the object creation and all the things. If you are feeling any difficulty, just go through the recordings. The recordings are available on the YouTube channel. The link I have already shared in the chat box, so you can just use that. Okay. So priority, enter pick list values. You all have done it already. So last I am doing it, being a little quick. High, medium, low. Okay. This nothing else to select. I believe it's asking for any. Okay, no. It says just make this field visible to all profiles and all page layouts. Let's just quickly do it. Next, it says visible to all profiles. So all profiles and all page layouts. Save. So field has been created. Now it says create a sharing rule for the project object. So let's go and create a sharing rule quickly. So for the sharing rule, we need to go to the sharing settings. So let's go to the sharing settings. Okay. Again, select the object here at the top, just as we did a little earlier. Select project. Now you can see default sharing, or by default we have already configured. Project sharing rules. This is what we need to configure. So just click on the new button, add the rule. It says give any name. So I'm just giving share project records. Okay. If I want to provide any description, I can give that. I'm just doing the same things here. It's a rule type based on criteria. Okay. So now second step is to select the rule type. So we can just select a record owner if some record on person we need to select, or we can just select a criteria. So right now it's asking us to select a criteria like condition that we have selected based on criteria. Then what criteria we need to provide? It says priority should be equal to high. So just select field from here, priority, whatever the fields will be available on the project object, that things you can see here in the field part. So proper priority equals the value should be high. So I have just typed it high. All the other thing you can do, you can just click on this search icon, you can select that. Okay, that's also you can do. And yeah, that's all. Now in the step 4, it says select the users to share with. Now with which users we will be sharing it for. So there is a thing called roles. You already know public groups. Like if I want to have like multiple users from multiple profiles, or you can see multiple roles in a single grouping, I can create public groups for that. Although we are not doing it right now, we'll be assigning for the roles. So just select roles. Then we are having the list of all the roles. Here it says select training coordinator. So just select training coordinator. And lastly, it said again, which kind of access do you need to provide? Read only or read write. So just select read only and save. It's asking us for a confirmation. Just give the confirmation. Okay. Now that sharing rule has been created. Okay. And the last say make sure the organization by default for the projects are set to private. So it's set to private anyway. We have done it earlier. So it's fine. Okay. So that's all about the sharing rules, all the levels we have done from the org, the objects, fields, records. Then inside the record, we have done the org by default thing. And in the org by default, in that particular part, we have done the org by default settings. Then we have done the role hierarchy. And then we did the sharing rules. So that's all about this particular modules. I know I have been a bit quick, and sorry for that, but I can't resist on that thing. Okay. Anyways, you are having 2-3 minutes of time. If you have understood the thing, just raise your hand. If you have not understood, just put your question in the chat box. I am here to answer that first. We can just take the session 2-3 more minutes more. It's fine. We can extend it to a certain extent. Any questions, anyone? I'm giving you some time. Just think of it and give me, if you have, I'll put it in the chat box. And if you have understood, just raise your hands. I'm stopping the screen sharing right now so that I can see the chat box and window much more clearly. I can see only 8 hands raised. What about other? Yes, Marmik, on that note, I cannot help you a lot. Let me just see. Abhishek, are you there? Abhishek?
Yes, Aditya.
Abhishek, students, Marmik has asked for that progress thing on the Future Skills Prime website that has not been updated. So anything that you need to convey?
Yes, see, the progress you might not be able to see on Future Skills Prime because the data reporting is still pending from Salesforce. The moment it gets uploaded, you will see your progress. Yes, see, the progress is showing 0 because on Future Skills Prime, either it will show 0 or 100%. It won't show in between progress, such as 20%, 50%, 70% or so.
Okay, I hope, Marmik, that answers your question. Just put your full focus towards the course first. Rest of the things, it will be taken care of. Don't worry. We are here to assist all of your queries. Nothing to worry on that part. Okay.
Fatima has a question that she's facing a problem in login on Future Skills Prime. Fatima, can you explain the problem? What kind of issue you're facing? Or you can write me an email and I'll reply back to you. Sure, thank you.
Okay, any other questions anyone having? Please be first. I'm giving you 1 more minute only. If you have any other question, please put in the chat box.
You can also put your questions on the Telegram channel. We will answer them there.
Yes, next class is next week.
Aditya, we can wind up today's session now, I believe.
Yes, please. Okay, so everyone, that's all for the day. The assignments I have already provided you that the 2 modules, event monitoring and build a discount approval process are your assignments to do for the day. You can do that on, and if you have any queries, post in the Telegram group anywhere that you want. We'll be there to assist you on all that particular part. Okay. And yeah, those who are celebrating Chhat, I don't know how many of you are doing. Happy Chhat Puja to all of you. And that's all for the day. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.